Okay. So, we really just need to keep grabbing these definitions from elsewhere. Oh, and that's right, we were doing it from here. Yeah, and we need to use a stricter language as the example for this. Oh, not what I wanted. Hey, what's up, Goatmeal? What you up to? All right, so we got that one. Just hanging out? Yeah, just chilling. Enjoying a solid day. All right, so then value is a separate thing. I think that ends up being everything, right? Because this is not public, so we shouldn't see that. Shouldn't see that. Okay, so I think we can do GoDoc here, and we should see some annotations and some things that look a bit better. So let's try it out. I think I just understood why they picked 9000 as the port. It looks kind of like Go, but they just add 2 extra zeros, right? It's Go. That's pretty good, actually. I know, right? That's actually pretty solid. All right, yeah, so it only annotates... Yeah, it only annotates the public methods, which is perfect. As we go down through the list, we see new client. Yep, create a new client for consuming feature flags. Fetches the flags for a specific group. Ooh, I guess here's the thing. We may want to align the tense of these things, right? Because we're kind of mixing it, right? This is create a new client. Well, technically, isn't it creates a new client? If we want to stay with the same thing here, right? Fetch is versus fetch. Or do we want to use fetch, right? Set a fetched flag group instead of sets. I don't remember, and we'd probably want to look at some other docs, but we can let that be fine for now. And yes, Angular default port is 4200. Oh, yeah. Yeah, JavaScript literally made fetch happen. That's pretty fetch. All right. Yeah, I'd say the Go stuff's good. We just want to add what we've changed now. Oh, hold on. I think I might have dragged that by accident or something. We'll add the elixir to that. That's fine. So this is feat restructure Go code to keep internals private from docs and document public APIs. Okay, cool. So let's keep thinking on some of this. We don't need the Go code in its own folder now. We can move this back over. And if we look at our notes for what we're doing right now, done, and done. Cool. So yeah, we'd need to make these SDKs at some point. I want to publish the ones we have first, and then we can always just keep adding more. But I think the main thing we got to do first is we uncovered a bug. Okay, so it seems like all of our tests are actually passing. However, we might have messed up the Bazel stuff. Oh, And yeah, that's going to complain, but that's not a problem. So build.bazel right here. So hashing, scheduling, types. We don't have any tests for JSON.go, but we do need to add it. All right, so I think we're good there. This actually looks fine to me. So I bet our Bazel stuff is going to be okay. I think we want to just merge in documentation finesse. Hold on. Dependencies for... All right, so we didn't need to do a PR. We just merged in that branch. That's fine. The next little bit then. Start end fix. All right, so when we look in our client test code, that part's fine. It's actually here in internal where we're doing our scheduling testing. Right? And this is where we're doing this loop. Yes. So we want to end up doing the same thing for active start end as well. And we want to loop over every hour of the day. And yeah, so then now, we basically just want to recalculate how now is created. Yeah, so mocked now is actually what we're looking for. Oh, and part of it might have been that we weren't doing now.utc. I think that was also a big part of it. So then, all right, so now we should be able to test that. We want to test internal, and we get a failure. Yep. So test scheduling active start end. Now hold on. Tester.fail. Can we pass a message to that? Oh, interesting. So you can do t.run? What's up, X Factor? How you doing? T.error_f instead of just t.fail. Got it. Okay, that would be more useful. All right, so t.error_f. Let me double check that. Yeah, we would just do %d. How are we doing that test below, right? And yeah, we're doing tester.error_f right there too. Sweet. Never mind. We already used it. Alright, so we should be able to see which error this was now. Oh, and it tests all of them instead of bailing out immediately. No, not all client SDKs, but the ones that we do have done, we can publish. I don't think getting every language SDK out there is a requirement for publishing the ones that we currently have. We can always make more later, but I think the ones that we have need to get published up because, you know, we need to, like, launch this thing and get it into people's hands. So we actually get a bunch of issues. Our 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 both fail their before and during schedule checks. Okay. So that's actually going to be modified over here now. And that does mean that we kind of needed this in its own editor still, so that we can actually have useful reporting. Right? Useful, like, error checking in the editor. All right, so. This is our main function. What we're doing right now going to be in here. So we're basically just checking if we're before or after those daytime or date times there, right? And for the most part, it's kind of the same check where we want to do this. but not quite. It's not going to be the same exact fix. All right, so zeroing these out. So if start time dot I think we were doing Unix milli. So end date time. Stamp. All right, so Unix milli there. And what up, Jalu? How you doing? Let's see if that fixed anything. It didn't. Right, so this is something we want to do here. Yeah, Vexilla's back. How's the job hunt doing? I've got some stuff lined up for next week that, yeah, seems pretty cool. Some DevRel stuff, too, because I'd like to jump into it. I chatted with someone I'm considering a friend at this point at Seattle JS as well. They were like, hey, we need to talk. So, yeah, I'll talk to them, too. Yeah, I'm wondering if that's our issue. Do we get logs? Logs in test results. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we could just do a, what is it, like log? Log dot print. Bailing out before start end branch. All right, so hashing is good. The 0 hour. All right, so we did a log fatal just to like get out of there as quick as possible. All right, so we didn't bail out. Hour 0 is a problem there. I don't want this to be fatal anymore. So as we look at the process up here, we don't bail out for either of these two failures. Oh, bailing hour. Interesting. Hold on. What? Let me do something else. Here in the test, I think I want to do just a log. So this would be log dot print. This is print f. Starting start end test, and we'll just say hour. All right, so we start out here. Starting hour 0, not bailing out. And we fail that. I think the not bailing out is a bit noisy. Start time greater. All right, so let's keep testing a bit. Oh. That was weird. Okay, so in our first failure, start time is less than end time. All right, so this is start. Yeah, I think this will work. Now is that, and is that. And we're getting a bunch of noise, so instead I do want to turn this back into a fatal. Okay, so there we go. So start time is less than end time. We see that start is 170.812. We see now is 170.821. And we see end is 170.821 as well. Yeah, okay. So I see what's going on here. Basically, this should have been before the start. Let me double check this now. All right, so we still get 812, 821, and 821. Yeah, so we got something fundamentally wrong here with how we're getting this. And I don't think time.now is a problem because we saw the exact same value here. Or not the exact same, but like so close it doesn't matter. All right, this is just the seconds, basically. Yeah, All right, so hold on. Test scheduling active, start, end. Yeah, I think we got our start time and our end time wrong. This still isn't right, though. Yeah, because the mocked now, subtracting a day. So this is like before and after the whole schedule. I think I need to do something like this. I do still think I want that. Yeah. All right, so the after schedule, though. What was that one? All right, so we get that issue still. All right, and none of those are actually failures. So those are fine. So it's still hours 0. Yeah, hours 0 through 7. So let's try and reason about what this test actually needs to test. And it's a bit noisy. I wish we could colorize these things easier. Probably could have just thrown like a new line in there. Yep, so we get a little spacing in there now. That helps. Yeah, okay. Let's just do something like that then. Yeah, so colorize could work too. I don't really feel like installing a variable for that, though. All right, so the color for this. Let's try gray. Yeah. preset. Okay, that works for me. All right, so that should make things look a little prettier. Okay, gray didn't help us at all. Maybe just use blue or something. Yeah, okay. I like that so far. So the rest is then not too bad. All right. So here's the craziest part to me. We are adding days. To a bunch of our start and end stuff. Hold on, let me double check this again. So start time is less than end time, which is expected. All right. We don't see greater anywhere. Perfect. So it's really just the relation to our now value. Hold up. Nope, so that's our now right there. So we're not even getting into this. Ever. Which I think is fine. I think that might be it. Okay, no. So we parse it. Yeah, this is generating the UTC there. That's exactly what we want. Let me double check that we're doing that over in this one too. So we definitely want now.unix milli, not the .utc of it. Right, which is what we're doing. I think we do still want to zero it out. No. Yeah, this is a tricky one. I didn't expect to be failing this many of the hours for the start and end. I almost feel like this is something to do with forgetting a UTC somewhere. I think we just solved it. Yeah, all the other tests pass now too. Yeah, so this part didn't actually change things, and start and end should never be flipped because we're not looking at the individual day anymore. So this is not necessary. I think that's the only thing that is necessary. All right, let's get rid of these logs that we just don't need anymore.
Z33EB would be an interstellar superhero hailing from a technologically advanced planet within the Z3 Nebula. With a natural ability to control electric energy, Z33EB can harness septoelectric waves to manipulate electrical devices, emit stunning bolts, and even ride the currents across the skies. Their suit, laced with conductive circuitry, amplifies their powers and enables intergalactic communication. Stranded on Earth during a cosmic pursuit, they now vow to protect their new home from both terrestrial and extraterrestrial threats.
Hell yeah, so you're not even from this planet. Yeah, thank you for the sub. Appreciate you. Yeah, I really like this bot. I think that was a really fun and good idea. Sector ZZ plural Z alpha. That's where we are. right? On the spiral arm of the horseshoe nebula or whatever. I'm still doing the video editing part. Yeah, I mean, it's like 4 days worth of content. And I definitely want to trim out a lot of the just chatting, nothing related stuff, so I'm not wasting their time. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think the hardest part is after doing like the long form video of it, I still need to maybe like do like a quick, like, you know, short form video of it. And that's gonna take some time. Oh, there you go. Damn, Nate was live for 8 hours? What? Wow. Good job, Nate. That is a solid long stream. Okay, so we got that test passed. Hold on. Let's just make sure I don't have too many other like log BS changes in there. There we go. Or hold on, let's just run our test again. And it should be empty. Boom. Okay, so as we look at this some more, we got that working for the Go code. We'll get that pushed up a bit. Yeah, we should probably end up making this work and happen for all of our languages. So, let's start from the top. All right, here in scheduler test, we've got our loop, right? Yeah. But we're gonna need to pop open an editor for each one of these just because it gets weird. Boop. Yeah, our extensions just don't seem to work unless we're loading it at the root of our editor. And what up, Fallen? How you doing? Looks like no auto formatting. That would be why we don't have the extension turned on. Dylan Mulroy is helping us build the SDK for OCaml, but it's not ready yet. I think we've got some tests to finish. We got to document it. We got some other like meta kind of things to do for the project. Things like that. So yeah, the OCaml is not nearly ready yet. Oh, here's one thing I want to do first. We got that launch.json. We can do extensions.json. Yeah, he's helping out. But we probably won't be touching any of that today. His common day is Tuesday, right? Like the day that we collaborate. It is. So yeah, I'm just grabbing the recommended extensions for VS Code. I think it's just the two. The keyboard, it's a Magic Force 68 with Cherry MX greens. Yeah, greens. Or no, Gatoron greens. Sorry, I think. I can't remember if they're Gatoron or Cherry, actually. But, yep. If you want, yeah. I think someone else was trying to do that too, but, you know, I'm not sure they're necessarily, like, setting dibs on it. It's a pretty solid stock keyboard. I've got, you know, like some fancy keycaps on it, right? They're sphericals, right? So like SA, which is really nice. Do I have autofocus on? I do. So yeah, it's not bad. Keychron? Yeah, Keychron's not a bad one either. So yeah, keep in mind, we're talking about the application in this issue. So when you go to Vexilla, right, our website has a dark light mode, but the app itself does not. So if you wanted to add one to the top, trying to keep it somewhat consistent with our design here, that would be really cool. But I think it's going to be a bit more involved, right? We're using Mantine. I think Mantine gives us a good way of doing some of that, but I can't remember. And hey, what's up, Chaotic? How you doing? Yeah, I mean, just remember, it's going to be fairly deep. There's, like, pages that you got to make sure actually adapt as well. It's not just the background change. So, yeah, up to you. I would say try and make sure that you're keeping it, like, you know, well scoped to what we're trying to do. But yeah, how you doing, Chaotic? Mr. Sir? Still alive and healthy, so you'll take that. Yeah, I'm going to guess that your watch streak reset. Maybe not. Totally fine. Like, it's kind of, like, ridiculous to expect it to go forever, you know? But dude, yeah, you got up to 70 at least, right? Like, huge. That's awesome. Oh, it's at 84. It didn't reset? Oh, man. Okay. Interesting. And hey, Fallen, I see you over there on Alt F4 too. I'm lurking there too. Here's what I'm always curious about. Why do people put their own name in their title? Does anyone know why streamers do that? So maybe it's just for, like, hovering? I don't think so. Glasses doesn't... He doesn't stream to YouTube at the same time. I think he's just on Twitch. Maybe all their social media uses the same name. Maybe TLDR, it looks cool. SEO? More your title mentions you, the more likely you will be the #1 search result on Google. Oh, whoops. I don't think I have an SEO issue. At all. And damn, we're almost at 30,000 followers. I haven't even looked at that number in a while. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I just don't have SEO problems with my name. At all. Like 0. In fact, it's too much. Yeah, I think we're good. I just don't get it. I think the hover card is a really good option for it. The hover card makes sense. Okay, so let's go turn some of these things back on. Enable. Enable. That's probably fine. All right, so back to our test. Here in the scheduler test, what we end up wanting to do hour gets passed to our mocked now. C sharpier, I guess. Oh, so now it's going and installing C# here. So this is just like a wiring to it. Got it. Let's move that over. All right, so the mocked now. Oh, I guess here's the tricky part. Do our actions run when we do that push? Wait, what? Okay, here it's a test failure. Sure. There it's a test failure as well. All right. So yeah, based on time of day, we've definitely got our start-end test failure happening, which is a little annoying. Oh, that's a new one. Yeah, so I haven't seen this error before. We may still have some stuff to fix for the Go client. That seems to be the only failure within the Bazel. And then how about Kotlin here? One failed test. Doesn't tell us which test, though? So we could use better logs inside of the output for some of these. But yeah, this one right here is actually our main issue. Okay, so if we look at the Go a bit more. That's an empty build file right there. So go pkg build.bazel. So this is the file that's complaining at us. And it didn't before. The only thing we updated was we added json.go. Oh, hold up. No, it's the import path. I think that was it. Because we messed with our import path. So this is fix. Make C# start end test against 24-hour cycle. And update import path for Go Bazel stuff. All right, so let's see what that ends up giving us. And we kind of do still expect a lot of those other tests to fail because we are still at like the midnight issue for those things. The tricky part right now is I don't have a great way of testing the C#. We were using Rider, which was a JetBrains thing, but we were on the trial. And I don't use it enough to justify paying for it. So test Basil here is really the one that is going to tell us if we succeeded with some of this. And what's up, Renok? How you doing? What's up? Thank you for the follow there, Mouse's Twitch TV. I mean, Superior's tough. They do have a lot of nice features, right? Try to not do blanket comparisons and do feature comparisons instead. If there's a feature you like, shout that out, but saying superior or better is meaningless. Yeah, right? Try to be more objective about it. More specific as well. The power of VS Code is in the extension ecosystem. All right, so it was our test. Nope, it's the build. Ooh, it is the build. So we're not even getting to the Bazel coverage test part because this part failed. Package clients go PKG contains errors. But why? Oh. I know why. Hold on. Let's get rid of that. And you can get a lot of that with extensions in VS Code as well. Depending on the language. It depends on the language. What language are you asking about or wondering about? Yeah, any good language server should be able to do that. Again, you're still not saying what language. It doesn't help anybody if you're not being more specific. What you're describing is the job of the language server. The TS language server can definitely do that. It'll treat it as used within that context, sure, but then you just look for if it's actually used. Let's double check. Let's look at it. Yeah, this music's great. Go to references. Oop. Okay, so it's not great. Maybe it's taking a second. I'm not sure what's happening down here right now. This may be a monorepo issue too. Let me double check this. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, recognizing the bias is a good point. I'm pretty sure what you describe is doable in VS Code as well. What's up, Modest Cat? How you doing? Yeah, I want to see this real quick. It's not something I typically use or need, so that's the part where I'm a little confused on it. But, you know, if you find a use for it, then yeah, use it. Right? So is this what you were talking about? It's built right in. Just peek at the calls. Implementations, references, call hierarchy, whatever. Voila. Problem solved. Yeah, it's great. So I think that's the biggest thing. Just because you couldn't find it doesn't mean it's not there. Yep. Yeah, so I just want to point that out, right? Like, there's definitely a bias because... I don't know, man, right? The thing you said that it couldn't do, it could totally do. So, something to think about. Totally fine, though. I bet I could do it for Go as well. Because, again, the language server knows all that stuff. But yeah, I love this image. The dog inside the sleeve of a hoodie looks somewhat like a sandworm from Dune. So fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me, and when it is gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear is gone, there will be nothing, only I will remain. And then the dog's face. I love that bit. Yeah, I'm really proud of my my wallpaper collection. All right, so let's close this. Yeah, the dog was great. And I think here's the big thing. If you enjoy using... oh, and I need to indent these. If you enjoy using it, keep using it, right? But just, you know... try not to blindly assert superiority. That's all. That's fine. Maybe there's a setting for it. I don't know. No, and I appreciate you, Ranok. Thank you for understanding that. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm just trying to improve our communication. Oh, yeah. We just indented it. Don't actually need this window. Stream I was lurking, just raided someone. It's a good enough stream to stay lurking. Right, so yeah, I'll keep lurking over there. But okay, so we don't care about super viewers right now. Start end fix. Now, let's see, will it blend? All right, test servers up. And yeah, we expect most of these to fail still. But I want to see if we get past the go error that we had. And that'll be here in Basil. Any minute now. I just want to see the build complete right here, because then we can get on to the tests that are totally failing. Nope. So the first error that we see, invalid label in element 0, invalid target name, hold on. What did this file used to look like? So it was types.go. I just think we can't start with the /. And actually, we could just do the Bazel stuff local. What did we name it? Excuse me. Let's just do star. I think that was it. Hold on. All right, there we go. Go Bazel config. I didn't actually need to do the -f, which is fine. All right, so here we go building again. And I think we had it. So yeah, now we just need to see these things actually succeed up to the test for a bit. All right, here goes the build. Will it blend? That doesn't look good. What did we blow this time? Well, it's a different error. That's usually good, right? What do you mean? Are you saying, like, should we run it locally? We could, but it's a massive, massive Docker container, and I don't have room for that. And my Mac Mini doesn't like Docker. It is very old. It is very slow. Nice, Owen. All right, this is taking way longer than last time we tried this, so I don't think I ran this test locally properly. So let's just try it here. Oh, Basil. Not completed successfully. Okay, so this helps. Missing strict dependencies. I don't. I did at one point. Yeah, I used to, and I ran into issues with it. check that imports in Go sources match import path attributes in depths. Okay, so it's definitely a Bazel configuration issue. I think it's this import path. I think I still needed that PKG there. So, yep, removing that earlier was a mistake. Because I just misunderstood what the error was telling us inside of CI/CD. No, maybe not. What up, Robotic Head? How you doing? Ooh, I still need to get that clip of when the bot said your story. So, yep, I need to grab that for you. It's going well? Nice. That was on Thursday, right? Or my Thursday? Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Bazel, Go rules, import path. I'm curious about this part. Oh, okay, hold on. Ooh, okay, let's try this. Oh, we got a syntax error. Yep, that makes some sense. Oh, hold on. Okay. And let's move this over. So missing strict dependencies. Oh, like maybe they have a cyclic dependency. Oh. All right, so now we are in a properly scoped folder here. That looks okay to me. So really, this error is actually what we cared about. .internal.a. Where is that even coming from? So wait, that actually worked. Yeah, so we're kind of back to our module issues with the Go stuff. So here's the thing. We're getting that error, but we removed the go.work file. So why does it think that we are still in a workspace here? And really, oh, I need to move that out of the way. I think that was the issue. All right, yeah. Okay, so we get the errors here. That's fine. Yeah, so we expect that error still. So the imports work right there. We're not getting yelled at. They don't like this part. That's fine. The Go mod no longer complains. All of those still pass. So, like, yeah, we're not fully broken. It's just not right, which I find odd. So yeah, let me look at the result of that Google again. Because I think this has got to be related. Oh, do I need to rebuild? Right, because we're using Gazelle. So they have their top level workspace file. They've got the build file inside the proto folder. Yeah, I don't think this is related to what we need right now. Oh, I see. So the build buddy CLI. Yeah, hold on. Basilisk. Yeah, let's try and rerun Gazelle and see if it rebuilds and does what we need. Because I forget, like, some of these Bazel build rules actually have like an aspect of generating your build files instead. So maybe I just need to regenerate something. Oh, interesting. So what file is this? Module.basel.lock. Ah, right. So I care less about that part. All right, so oh, okay. Oh. Okay. That was it. All right, so Gazelle was actually the way to go for sure. Right, because they're generated, this is Vexilla and Vexilla test as well. Okay, so we'll see if this ends up working. All right, cool. So yeah. I just got to remember that whenever we change our structure, if we're doing generated stuff, we need to regenerate things then. And that looks like it worked too. Okay. Thanks, Skydriver. Appreciate that. If you ever want a link to it, you can always just do exclamation point song. All right, so we failed there. I'd say, yeah, we did not need that file. So I want to remove go.work.back. I want to remove go.mod. Okay, so the fix is regenerate build.bazel files for Go and remove unnecessary go.mod and go.work files. Cool. And yeah, no worries. Yep. Yeah, really good music on the, like, in the background. It's just awesome. Yeah, like really just keeps you motivated. Even just like moving your head kind of like spurs thought. That's why people like pace while they're on the phone and things like that. Oh, hold on. Anyone remember what language it was? No, hold on. There's Vigil, yes. I wanted to pass this over to a channel I'm lurking. All right, so if y'all haven't seen this, Vigil is a very safe programming language. Many programming languages claim to take testing, contracts, and safety seriously, but only Vigil is truly vigilant about not allowing code that fails to pass programmatic specifications. So here's the syntax and semantics. It'll feel very similar to Python with the minor proviso that you must provide a main function which will be automatically called for you. So, infinitely more important than mere syntax and semantics is its addition of supreme moral vigilance. This is similar to contracts, but less legal and more medieval. The implore statement to beseech your needs. Often, a function will require that parameters have certain desirable properties. A function in Vigil can state that it requires, or what it requires by using implore. So we implore that n is greater than or equal to 0. Right? And then we return math.square-root. If a caller fails to provide valid arguments, it is wrong and it must be punished. The swear statement is to state what you provide in return. So if a good caller meets its obligations, the onus is thus on you to fulfill your end of the bargain. You can state the oaths that you promise to uphold using swear. All right, so we swear the result will be greater than or equal to 0. If a function fails to uphold what it has sworn to do, it is wrong, and it must be punished. So, unhandled exceptions, it goes without saying that any function that throws an exception which isn't caught is wrong and must be punished. So, runtime vigilance. This is where Vigil sets itself apart from weaker languages that lack the courage of their convictions. When a Vigil program is executed, Vigil itself will monitor all oaths, implorations, and swears that have been made. If an oath is broken, the offending function, the caller in the case of implore and callee in the case of swear, will be duly punished. How? Simple. It'll be deleted from your code. The only way to ensure your program meets its requirements is to absolutely forbid code that fails to do so. With Vigil, this shall be done for you automatically. After enough runs, Vigil promises that all remaining code meets its oaths. Is this serious? Eternal moral vigilance is no laughing matter. But isn't a language that deletes code crazy? No, wanting to keep code that demonstrably has bugs according to its own specifications is crazy. What good could it possibly serve? It is corrupted and must be cleansed from your codebase. Vigil will do this for you automatically. Oh no, Vigil deleted a function. Won't that cause the functions that call it to fail? Well, it would seem that those functions appear to be corrupted as well. Run Vigil again, and it will take care of that for you. Several invocations may be required to fully excise all bugs from your code. It's basically, yes, Python asserts that delete code if they fail. Exactly. It's brilliant. It was done for a fun competition back in 2013. It was pretty good, right? So yeah. Have fun. Be careful. So it's compatible with Python 2 and 3. And that is a perfect code file, right? No side effects, right? Purely functional in that it does nothing. Hold on. So did I push that up? I did push that up. Let's check our tests. We expect some failures still, but we don't expect it to fail in the exact same way. It should move on to the tests and fail that. So the Elixir, the Kotlin, the Python, and the PHP fail. We'll have to check into those for sure. The Bazel, let's look at the Bazel. The Bazel covers a bunch of languages. Oh, wait. So the Bazel looks good. Bazel tests pass. We're set. Yeah, there's some like warnings. Warnings don't mean nothing. Exactly, twofles, or twaffles, I keep forgetting. But yeah, this looks good. So what failed in our Python? So it's in test client, sure. During global start end. So Python and PHP both have the start end failure as well. We're gonna want to run those on our own. Oh, so this is interesting. Installer corrupt. That's a totally different bug. Yeah, so we got a PHP fix to make. The Python is a test failure that we kind of expected. Okay. We got this part working. That part's awesome. It looks to me like we need to run and test our Python code. That is a little more annoying. Because the Python code's inside of Docker. Oh, there you go, Tufels, yep. Overall in years, I push back on that unless it's a job interview, right? Then I have to answer the question. But I don't like using that number in any meaningful way. Right? It doesn't matter. My ability as a coder is not dependent upon the amount of time I've been doing it. It's dependent upon the amount of effort I put in during that time. Right? I think we all know people who've been playing guitar for 20 years and still suck. Right? I think we all know people who've been skiing or snowboarding for 20 years and still suck. Right? So yeah, I don't like the appeal to authority of even saying how long you've been programming. That makes sense, Lemonade Jetpack. Ooh, I mean, I've got a Lemonade Jetpack I'm gonna make right here in a second after I use the restroom. And not that kind of lemonade. I mean, actually just lemonade. And it's definitely a jetpack. So, BRB, let me go use the restroom, sorry. Yeah, I just realized that context would be a little weird, right? Different kind of lemonade. Real lemonade. Okay, sorry, had to pee. Oh, I mean, Tufels, there's an entire South Park episode about grinding in the beginner area for thousands of hours. So I don't know, man. I don't know. So we're working on a tool called Vexilla. It's my static file-based feature flagging tool. The part we're trying to do right now is we definitely have some bugs that you're even seeing right here where during some of our scheduled stuff, there's like time zone issues. So we got to fix the time zone issues. Who cares what the question is? Coffee is the right answer. I don't drink coffee. Oh, so keep in mind, like, time zones are only, like, barely an issue. It's less time zones, actually, and it's more about, like, rolling over midnight. So, yeah. Technically, I think it might just be a place where I'm not converting to UTC. So, we've already solved the bug in a bunch of places. We need to just do it for each SDK. We have 8 SDKs, so, right? That's the process. And we're going to have more SDKs. The majority of the code for this thing is actually SDKs. Because it's a static file that lives somewhere. No. So think about it this way. When we convert to UTC, if I wanted to do a 9 to 5, that time for 9 to 5 would actually mean that 5 o'clock is less than 9 o'clock. Because I'm on Pacific time, UTC would then convert it to basically like 10 p.m. to like 5 a.m. or something, right? Like 5 a.m. is technically before 10 p.m. So there's like some edge cases to that. I think that might be part of it, but realistically, we're not sure. We've had to solve that for like the daily scheduled stuff, right? If you want to do like something running from 9 to 5 for 2 weeks. Right now, we're dealing with a start-end issue, and it may not actually be the midnight problem. So instead, we just need to keep testing. In the last one we did, it was just a, like, one value wasn't converted to UTC. So, like, just keep in mind, no matter what, a time zone, or time frame, could overlap with midnight, even if it's on purpose. What if you want to run it from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m.? That's totally valid. That's totally fine, right? So it's not necessarily a time zone problem, but it is a time zone, or it's like a time problem, not necessarily time zone, I guess. One of these days, I want to go to the Streamer Awards. It's just down in LA or whatever, right? That'd be great. If I were to go, I'd definitely wear my tuxedo hoodie. Because I'm going to be comfortable if I end up going to something like that. Preferred date format? Milliseconds. Right? UTC milliseconds. Done. You were expecting ISO 8601, huh? Yeah, see, there you go, Twofuls. There you go. Makes sense. Oh, and yeah, has everyone seen, like, I should actually make this into a command, shouldn't I? Right? Right? I should call it, like, origin. This is my entire professional career, you know, kind of summed up. And I mean, like, professional in any way, not just software. So I started as a cart kid at Target. Technically, I had a paper route before that. I also sold baseball cards and basketball cards and stuff. And then I was a line cook, a prep cook, a dishwasher, ski check, dishwasher, ski rentals, banquet server, terrain park, restaurant host, janitor, more terrain park, freelance WordPress Magento, full stack dev, front end team lead, streamer. Pretty good, right? I almost feel bad for people that got into tech, like, immediately. You know, like, just fresh out of college, barely held any other jobs. So yeah, basically everything up till here was me as a snowboard bum. So I would spend winters at Stevens Pass, summers down at Mount Hood, right? Technically, Cart Kid at Target was before that. But then I graduated from high school. I knew I wasn't going to make it into any universities or anything. My 2.3 grade point average wasn't going to do it. And I didn't even know what I wanted to do. So instead, went down to Mount Hood. I was a line cook for just a little bit of time. I got lucky that they had a line cook going on vacation and they needed to train someone up fast. And then from there, they pivoted me to prep cook. And then from prep cook, I was dishwasher, but I got to keep my prep cook wage. So I was the highest paid dishwasher at the time. And then, ski check in Washington, going to Stevens Pass, then dishwasher down at Mount Hood again, then ski rentals at Stevens Pass, then banquet server at Mount Hood again, terrain park at Stevens Pass, then restaurant host at Mount Hood again, and technically there were some other things in there too mixed in. Then janitor, then terrain park, and terrain park was technically at both Stevens Pass and Mount Hood, because I ended up working terrain park at Mount Hood at one point. And really, like, there's a bunch of, like, bouncing around. I went back to banquets, or technically I went into, like, pizza cook. So I forgot one in here, right? I was a pizza chef for a while as well. Which was, paying way better than terrain park. For Mount Hood terrain park, you gotta wake up at, like, 6 a.m. It was terrible. It was the worst. So yeah, did a lot of stuff. But I am gonna make this a tweet. Commands, add career. There we go. So yeah, that's a fun one. I'm sorry, the tabs thing is so boring, man. You're number 533. Where would you have drawn the line? Okay, so let's try installing Podman. Just cuz. Oh, that was weird. All right, let's try Podman. So yours were security guard. I don't know what that middle one is. And then retirement. Okay. Were you in like the Navy or something? Oh, it's IT specialist, I think. Specialist for protection and safety. Oh, interesting. Was that like a security, like IT kind of role? Or like, are you just not in IT? Like, did you not have a career in tech or IT, and you're mainly like, when it's specialist for protection and safety, was that like security guard, like bodyguards? Oh, gotcha. Okay. So kind of like how Dolph Lundgren was the bodyguard for some, like, I forget her name right now, some supermodel? Right, that kind of thing? There you go. Oh, Podman, sure, let's update. What Docker compatibility button? I think I've tried Podman before and actually just regretted it every time. All right, let's get Rancher back up. Festivals, concerts, then specialists, and more remote work than actual place. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I got a question. Are you actually into coding, or did you just randomly like hop into stream? I'm curious about that, Skydriver. Bun run dev? We're using PNPM, and you have to use PNPM because we need workspaces. So that's a thing that I actually need in my README. So Suyash, before you even do that part, if you want to create like part of the documentation and part of the contribution part that shouts out that you need PNPM installed, I think that would even be like a better like contribution if you want to tackle that first. So you're starting to try? Okay. No, not only PNPM has workspaces, but the syntax for it is very specific to PNPM. So yeah, this one right here, this is basically like part of what was happening. Yeah, right? Calls out that we probably need to add PNPM to the list of requirements for a contributor, right? So yeah, basically, if you create a PR, try and reference that it resolves this. Because yeah, there's a very specific syntax for workspace packages that is unique to PNPM. Or maybe not unique, but different from enough other tools, right? NPM doesn't support it, PNPM does. Oh, it's fine, Lemonade. Yeah, it gets boring, you know? At some point, I have to draw the line. Where would you have drawn the line? How many people asking you about it would have been too many? Right? So, again, I appreciate that. Just trying to, like, foster a little empathy about it as well. Yeah, no worries, Skydriver. Yeah, thank you for hanging out. Having some tea? Nice. But yes, sorry, to continue answering your question, once you have PNPM installed, then it's just PNPM dev. Yep, so there you go. You're liking Strappy? Cool. Yeah. And again, I would say, like, they may call it a CMS. It's not a CMS, right? It's just a GUI for, like, CRUD, right? Like, creating your CRUD. Vexilla is fundamentally different from Optimizely. Optimizely is, as far as I know, not even open source. It's not self-hostable. Right? So if you're asking about like the feature flags, yeah, it's feature flags, but feature flags are so much more broad than just Optimizely, right? Optimizely is a competitor, LaunchDarkly is a competitor, like all of them are. Growthbook is the closest to what we're doing, but even with Growthbook, there's like certain features that are actually hidden behind like a paywall. So if we go look at their pricing, you don't get scheduling as a feature. Hold on. Maybe they've changed it. Maybe they've added it. Scheduled feature flags. Nope. So yeah, their free tier and self-hosted tier does not include scheduling. And that is massively important to me. So yeah, for the most part, this is like a self-hostable feature flag tool, like Unleash, except you don't run a server, you just operate a static file server. So the static file just lives somewhere. Right? That static file could be in your own internal network, where it's not even exposed to the internet, but if someone can access it from wherever, then bam, right? Good to go. So it's just a static file, and the source of truth is that, and then we evaluate it using our client SDKs to do gradual rollout, etc. Using a hashing algorithm. It's a very simple hashing algorithm. We can go, like, what language would you prefer to look at there, Nearland? Would you like to see the Go, the Rust, the TypeScript, whatever? Oh yeah, you can absolutely make it publicly accessible too. You can host it anywhere a static file can be hosted. You just need to be able to fetch that file from your client at runtime. So yeah, Nearland, which one would you prefer to look at? TS? For sure, sounds good. It's a very, very simple function. So it's not even like, oh man, yeah, let's use the one you're familiar with. You'd probably be able to read the Go as well. So if we look at it, here's our hasher in TypeScript. This hash string function. This is the string to hash. We split it into its individual characters, and then we just add the character codes for those up and multiply it by your seed value and a magic number, and then we rationalize it as a value between 0 and 1. Extremely simple. But it is stable based upon you passing me the same ID every time. The number one thing to make sure that a user is not hacking at it and making sure that they see something they shouldn't is to make sure you're also doing the hashing on the server side as well. And if you have the user's UUID or some randomly generated thing for them, then boom, you're done. You can even just use their numeric ID because we break that apart into a string and we call it good. Now, realistically, I probably need to create some of the number values in here. Exactly. Yep, for sure. Yeah, that's really what we're checking. So we're hashing the string, but then if we look at how the client is doing the logic, we go here, and then it's a very simple just gradual check, which is somewhere. Hold on, let's find it. So bam, yeah, here's like our whether we should or shouldn't. This is just simply, we hash the string, we take our custom hash that we're passing in as custom, or we use the one that's set on the client, like, you know, for whatever, right? This allows you to do possibly random things or use like a group ID as well instead, but like you will most likely with your client set it for the user's ID. And then we just, yeah, pass the seed in and check that it's lower than your feature.value. Bim bam boom, like no big deal. So if we were to look at one of these features, let's say it is gradual. Boom. Ooh, so Nearland, hold on. I think you're misunderstanding. 1 second. The client would include your server. Your server is a client of the static file that lives somewhere, right? The number one thing to make sure of is that your static file is separate from your server deployment. You don't want anything to be bound by your deploy process. So the JSON file needs to be independently shippable wherever. And your server and your front end can both consume that as the source of truth. Does that mean that there's room for like lag of an inconsistency between your fetching, etc.? Absolutely. And we've got patterns for what status code you should probably report out when someone tries to use a feature that they shouldn't use. But yeah, the idea is you would just set the threshold, let's say 43%, and then the seed is the, like, you could change the group. So yes, we get 43% of our users with this subset, and if I just change this value to anything, that goes into our number rationalization, and we can get a different 43% of our users. So does that make sense, Nearland? Right? This is the configuration app. This is what would then edit the JSON file, and you would push that out somewhere. Your server and your front end both need to fetch that independently and rationalize based upon the SDKs for it. Does that make sense? I might have skipped over stuff, right? Just let me know if there's something you want explained a little better. Oh, right. As far as the seed. Yeah, you probably want to select like different seeds for all sorts of stuff. The name Vexilla, so have you ever heard of a Vexillum? If you've ever seen like Rome Total War or any of those games that involve like Roman or Greek like battalions or whatever they call them, there was typically like a flag that someone would carry for that battalion or whatever. That flag they would carry is a Vexillum. Vexilla is the plural of Vexillum. I think. I don't speak Latin. But it seems close enough, right? There you go. English. That's it. Hold on, what's the line from Fifth Element? Hey lady, chill out. I only speak English and bad English. But yeah, thank you for the follow there, Franks. Oh, I use all sorts of stuff. For the most part, if I'm just trying to build a thing, TypeScript will be involved. Depending on the thing and the back end, I might pick one language or another. It just depends. If I'm going for productivity, typically TypeScript. However, if I'm making a CLI tool, Go. If I'm making something WASM-based, probably Rust. Like, that I want to compile to WASM. Obviously, yes. Like, yes. Ooh, lemonade. Wait for it.
The support. Lemonade Jetpack would be a bright, spirited superhero known for their radiance and charm. They could create and control lemonade, using it in versatile ways, from healing sprays to sticky traps. Their ultra-fast, supercharged jetpack, powered by zesty, effervescent lemonade fuel, allows them to fly at incredible speeds. Their origin story would involve a science experiment with lemonade gone wild, leading to their superpowers. Lemonade Jetpack would always leave a refreshing aftertaste in their heroic wake.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it works. Oh, it works for gifted subs too. You can test it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate the sub. Yeah, we made that just last week. You absolutely need to use media queries. Yep, exactly. No, there's no feature flags involved with it. No, it's a bot that we wired up using vappy.ai. That's what the configuration for it looks like. Oh, so here's a big thing. Yeah. Sarcasm? No, it's kappa. That's the command. So yeah, just in case you're unaware, without a winking smiley or other blatant display of humor, it is utterly impossible to parody a creationist in such a way that someone won't mistake for the genuine article. Right? So technically, that goes for sarcasm in general. No one can understand if you're being sarcastic without a blatant display of it, such as a kappa, which is the Twitch way of saying that. A winking smiley is also sometimes a way of doing that. Yeah, exactly, Alava. In a similar, there's like a similar law called Poe's Law, right? Hold on, wait, which one are we talking? That's Poe's Law, sorry, there's Godwin's Law. So basically, as an online discussion grows longer, the probability of a comparison involving Nazis or Hitler approaches 1. If you argue with someone long enough, they're gonna end up making some equivalency to World War II. It will happen. It's a thing. It's like absolutely a thing. Yeah, it's 100% a thing. No, let's not. And hey, what's up, Skiz? Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant to reply back to you guys. I don't know. I don't think I'm enthusiastic enough about it, and I have enough trepidation about the gambling thing that I just don't think I'd be a good fit. And it took me a while to actually, like, come to that. So, I no hard feelings. I think it's a really cool product and idea. I just have a hard time really rationalizing it. So I hope that's okay. I meant to reply to you guys, and I keep forgetting. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I don't think I would be as enthusiastic as I should be. And you asked like early on in the process, right? You were trying to make sure of that before anything, and I'm sorry that it took me so long to like really understand that about myself. So yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. I really enjoyed the conversations with you and your co-founder. You guys are awesome. I'd happily hang out with y'all. I just don't think I would be the right person to work on it. Yeah, feel free to promote what you're making, man. Like, I think it's still a cool idea, right? I think once crypto is a big thing again, too, that'll be really useful and cool. But yeah. Let me just make sure. Regulars ed. Yeah, feel free to post your link if you want. Not required, no big deal. Each beanie color gives me a different superpower? Sure. And yeah, like Skiz, you're welcome to shout out the link if you want to. I just gave you like regulars permission to you know, show the link if you want. Up to you. No stress. No worries if not. All right, I don't think people shouldn't do that stuff. I just think I would have a hard time facilitating it, if that makes sense. So, again, really, really appreciate you, man. Awesome. Thank you. And there's no thunder stealing. We're chilling and hanging out. We're about to probably head into some gaming here in a little bit. And yeah, yep, no stress. So, appreciate you. Yeah, we're going to be playing some Pal World tonight, I think. Let me double check. I'm less inclined to do something like that, friends. Yeah, Pal World's fun. It's a really good game. Yeah, we've got like a private server or whatever that Acorn hosts. Here's the thing. There's probably a channel in Discord that you could ask, and that would be worthwhile. No, not Acorn's Discord. She's hosting like the Pal World server, right? Like a self-hosted server. Oh, like you want permission to join us? I'd say like ask when we're over on Gaming Stream. But let me reach out to them as well, just to make sure like what time frame we're on. Just to be sure. Yeah, let me reach out and double check. There we go. You don't want to progress further in Pal World because you're waiting for updates? Yeah, that makes sense. I get that. What up, Ikagen? How you doing? Oh, it's an amazing game. Yeah. It's tough. Lewis from Twitter who gave you BG3? Like, you got it gifted to you? Oh, cool, man. Yeah, it's really fun. Oh, Christmas gift? That's legit, man. Cool. All right, hold up. So I thought we launched up Rancher. I think I didn't. Hold up. So, while that virtual machine's going, let me go turn on my oven. Okay, cool. So the oven should be now. Cooking stream is basically not it because I'm just gonna do some chicken pot pies. How do I keep goals for Vexilla organized? I'm using GitHub's like project tab for the most part. We don't follow it that strictly because I kind of just know what we need. Yeah, I think it depends. If this gets bigger, I'd love to work out some kind of like automated tool for things where like PRs are tied specifically to like issues here. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like this way better than their like old like legacy version of projects. Like it's pretty good. Fire NATO? An accountant for the mob has to escape a whirlwind of fire while being chased by armed robbers. It's a 2.7 out of 10. I don't think that's what you're talking about, but the fact that that's a movie is insane to me. So a web framework that extends Tornado. Oh yeah, we got there. Yeah, no worries, Lava. Oh, okay, so this dude's your mentor. Oh, that's awesome, man. Cool. I typically push back on people thinking they need a mentor, but that's just me, you know? What do you mean, Suyash? What local server? No, I'm telling you, you can't use bun. You have to use PNPM. You cannot use bun. Okay. So PNPM only. So what issue are you having with PNPM? I would say, could you create an issue on the GitHub for it? Giving us output and, you know, things about that? What node version are you on as well? That might be another thing we need annotated. I think I'm on node 20. Yeah, I'm on node 20. I mean, it's right there in my terminal too. So that might be part of it. You're on node 20 as well? Okay, perfect. No, this is fine. I appreciate you putting in this effort to try and troubleshoot the dev process. Yeah, this is great, man. Thank you. But yeah, you might need to create an issue or add on to the issue that exists with what you're seeing, and then I can probably help like debug it a bit more. We probably don't have an NVMRC. Yeah, that's not a bad idea either. If you wanna do that, create a PR for it. You can contribute to open source. I would say try and create an issue for it first, and we're good to go. That's even better. Yeah, up to you, for sure. I like the idea. Yeah, thank you. Can you tell I'm basically trying to get as many people to contribute as possible so my contributors list looks actually respectable instead of just like me and DM Mulroy and Ryan Winchester? Issue posted? Sweet. Yeah, let's look at it. Did you actually run pnpm install yet? This seems weird that you already have things taking up the ports. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so, yeah, that doesn't seem like it'd be the issue. It does seem like it's weird that you have that many, like, servers running already, though. Hold up. Where are you running pnpm run dev? And it already looks like you might have an issue because your types node are at 18? Oh. And yeah, what's your pnpm version? Okay, so you're at the latest. That makes sense. Okay, what did you do? What did you change? Is it possible you didn't install before switching to version 20 of Node? You mean inside your, like, node modules folder? That one's weird. Yeah, I'm not sure what that issue would have been either. My guess is that your node modules was actually out of date because Bun tried to do it first. So yeah, when you're switching from trying to run Bun to pnpm, you probably need to like remove every node modules folder. Yeah, my guess is trying to run first messed things up. If you had done an rm-rf of all node modules within the Vexilla folder, I bet you would have been good. Which makes sense, like, totally fine. I get it. Yeah, no worries. No, we got there. Thank you for trying it. It could have totally been something I messed up. I would say, yeah, like, leave a comment about what the issue, like, what the problem was, and then feel free to close the issue. Right? Mainly, like, the comment being, like, I think it was because I tried to run bun instead of pnpm first, and there was a stale node modules folder, or something like that. However you want to phrase it. Ooh, we got a new PR. All right. I would say you do need to sign the CLA agreement. I don't know if you've seen that part yet. It's basically like the... you have the link. Duh. It's the contributor license agreement, and it's basically like making sure that you're aware of what our agreement is and all that stuff, right? So make sure you read it. Make sure you understand it. It's probably worthwhile. But at the bare minimum, it just means that we're basically taking ownership of your code contribution. You're more than welcome to fork it and do what you want, but we're bringing it into what we're doing, especially because I have the BSL, like the business source license. It reverts to MIT after a certain amount of time, but for the time being, you know, you're welcome to fork it and host it locally, just you can't spin up a service that runs like Vexilla yourself. That's something I'm reserving the right to do as the main owner. So yeah, just double check, make sure you agree with that. It's a simple enough bit of code that you're probably not worried about the copyright, but again, as long as everyone goes through that process, it clears us like legally a bit. But yeah. So, did you end up doing it? Shit, wrong tab. There we go. I want to go back.
Marty, we gotta go back. It's your parents.
And yeah, if you need it to be rechecked, you might have to like click this button or something. When you're talking about employee. No, so it's most likely if you're doing it as an employee of another company, like if you did it on company time. right? So basically, Lemonade, this is if you're an employee of a company and you actually made this contribution as part of your company, you need your company to actually like agree to open sourcing that work, right? Because technically your company owns the copyright, not you. If you did it under like company time on a company PC, etc., right? So not an employee of Vexilla. I mean, this is literally about being an employee of a company. No, and that's fine. But did you do it on a work machine? Did you do it during work time? Those are like the main criteria that would really dictate whether they have ownership or not. Is it done in the course of doing your job, etc.? Things like that. So if the answer is no, then you're probably good. But I just want to make sure. Okay, perfect. Yep. Yeah, for the most part, everyone out there, the number one thing is you never do personal things on company hardware. Ever. 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 Never, ever, ever, ever. Otherwise, they own it. They could at least take you to court over it. Including banking, including your own personal email, right? It gets crazy. It's really, really crazy that way. Like so much so that when I start at a company, if they're using GitHub and they want me to like assign my GitHub account, I'll create just a brand new GitHub account. For sure. My previous one was CM Griffing Fairwinds, right? Because I did not want my personal associated with it just in case. So for those reasons, yes, every single company, you basically create like an entirely new GitHub account for the work you're doing for it. Which is why it becomes like really tricky when someone's asking like, well, I don't see much activity on your GitHub. Have you been using GitHub? Yeah, I have, but it's not public and it wasn't through an account that is associated with me. It's associated with the company. Sorry, it is what it is. That's the majority of people who do software that even like, you know, even if their company uses GitHub, if it's a private repo, it doesn't show up in your contributions either. Things like that. But if it's private, I'd rather just do it on a whole separate thing anyway, because it doesn't affect me. So yeah, if you're okay with it, PR is back to me. Perfect, thank you. All committers have signed the CLA. Let's look at what's going on. You added an NVM RC to the root level of the project, and that works for me. Yeah, I'm into it. Perfect. Yeah, I appreciate that, Lemonade. Squash and merge. I don't remember if I did. Technically, I don't remember the password, you know? And I don't have access to the email associated with it. So, yeah, it may live there forever. That's fine, you know? Knowing the password would be helpful, but also, like, if I needed to reset the password, I don't have access to that email address anymore. So, nope. Not gonna happen. Wouldn't be prudent. I had my access cut off so abruptly that I couldn't close the account at the time. So, yeah, I think that account just lives forever. Whatever. I'm okay with it. I've seen worse. Ooh, so here's one thing there, Alec. Sorry, that does dox you a bit. My bad. I forgot to even, like, look if it was doxing you previously. Oh, wait, hold on. So in the future, I would say, yeah, you made a reference to number 28 there, which is great. But if you had put, like, closes number 28 or closes number 27, I guess, technically, which is like the issue number, then at that point, it would have actually like resolved this issue too, instead of me having to like manually close it. Fixes or closes or like, you know, things like that. Exactly. Yep. Just a habit to get into. Not a big deal. It's easy enough to click the button as well. So Suyash, hold on. Would you mind updating this and closing that issue too? I think it's better if you do it, you know? But up to you. I could do it too. Could you add a quick comment of like what was the problem? Basically like, yep. Oh, hold on. Oh, never mind. You have the comment right there. Perfect. Yeah. Awesome. Really good comment. Thank you, Suyash. That's really cool. Yeah, appreciate you, man. Hold up. Can I do the heart? Yeah, I can do the heart. Thank you. I'm gonna leave like one more comment. That commenting took time. Yeah, I'm sorry, I know, but it like really does like give us context into the future when someone proposes a similar problem, you know? And if there's like a bit you want to add to the README, just in general, like be careful if you run a different install command first, kind of thing, right? Please see this issue for whatever. Again, totally up to you. I could do it too. But this is the nature of like open source contribution. Yeah, for sure. And I appreciate that. So yeah. No, that's fine. I mean, do whatever you want, man. This is open source. You're not getting paid for this. There's no bounty for the task you're doing. Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate the contributions. Like, yeah, you guys are awesome. Anyone else that wants to dig in and start checking stuff, feel free. Totally fine. I've definitely got bugs all over the place. Too much stuff to do. Yeah, it's fun, right? We get to collaboratively work together. Like, this is great. I love this. Okay, so I don't need to update Rancher yet. Well, I need to delete all of these. All right, let's delete everything in there first. Oh, those are the Rancher images. Got it. Okay. So... let's do this real quick. All right, not that much space reclaimed. That's fine. We see a Docker file, a pip file, and some other stuff. Docker run client Python. Unable to find image locally, so we need to build. And yeah, this might be a good, like, stopping point anyway. I just want to double check this works properly. And yeah, chicken pot pies need to go in here real soon. Shit, I forget what our test command is. That's right. So, hold on. In test here, the test Python actually does, like, the main work for us. All right, so that's resolving still. We do a pipenv install, and then, yeah, we want to do that afterwards. Which I think is actually going to fail now. Ooh, and yeah, that's the main issue here. The dev server is not accessible. Yeah, so the tricky part there, Suyash, is like some of this stuff is very specific to certain languages. Yes, exactly, Lemonade. Basically, our container is set up to test against the test server that we've spun up inside of GitHub Actions. And it's not necessarily meant to run against the local test server. Is that something we need to fix eventually? Probably. But right now, our scheduler is correct. Like, every test works. Because we're not at the point where it would have failed. So, I'm going to say this is a good moment to call it for the day. Because I got food I need to eat. And I got gaming I want to play with a bunch of people. So, let's figure out who we actually handle. Is the server accessible on the host? Yes, that is this PNPM start right here. It is not accessible into the Docker run because there's a different bit to how the GitHub action wires things up. But we're going to go raid low-level learning because I don't get much of a chance to raid him anyway, so yeah. Yes, I will not be streaming on this channel tomorrow. Tomorrow will be just chill stream, like the stream I'm heading to right now, which is Griffing and Chill. I'll be there most of the day tomorrow doing some video editing, probably finishing up the take-home, like, editing stuff, and maybe record some other stuff too. We'll see. But yeah, so Griffing and Chill all day tomorrow. That's where I'll be in just, 5 to 10 minutes as well. And yeah, from there, Monday, same Chris time, same Chris channel. So let's go say hi to... Yeah, let's go say hi to low-level learning, and I'll see y'all over on gaming real quick, right? You work from home, but still batch chores for weekends. Gonna run some errands. I'll see you a little bit later, right? For sure, Bob. Yeah, see you soon. So, over on gaming, we'll be there for hours, so I'll see you there. And I'll see you there tomorrow, too. And then Monday, see you back here. Later.